I did want to tell you this update. This is from Massachusetts. You may remember we have been running our Choice Begins Here counter campaign against a street-wide, social media-wide campaign from the state of Massachusetts where they were trying to shut down pro-life pregnancy resource centers, calling them anti-abortion centers. You may have seen those ads. We've shown you those billboards over and over and over again. I saw them firsthand. That's how we became aware of them. As I was in Massachusetts, walking around, I noticed these signs. And I thought, man, I can't even believe the people of Massachusetts would be happy about this. And we find out a lot of them are not happy about this. And they've been very excited about our counter campaign. But also, we took it to court. Said, I don't think the state can do this. And that's still ongoing. But more information has come to light about how this campaign even started. Because if you went to the website, you would very much feel that the state of Massachusetts was being overrun by people going and being injured or killed or had some sort of medical problems going from pro-life pregnancy resource centers, which again provides ultrasounds, often provides formula and food, clothing. These are a lot of times church run or independently run, but volunteer run. These are the sweetest people you'll ever meet. Of course, they don't provide abortions. And that is, the worst travesty that could come to this industry. But now we find out, well, because we've demanded transparency, because we have done some discovery, we find out that even the origins of this campaign really have nothing to do with any medical issues that ever came down. In fact, it is bigger than that. And that is, this was the whole point the whole time, to just take down these organizations.
That's right. And as you even said, when you saw these, you thought it was just run by like Planned Parenthood or something. Yeah. Then you noticed the .gov. And that's actually what triggered the ACLJ to get involved. And we represent Your Options Medical, which is a pregnancy resource center. We're suing the state for constitutional violations. And our first lawsuit didn't have a lot of this new information in it because we simultaneously, while we were suing in court, also filed state freedom of information requests to try and see what the coordination was between the state, the Commonwealth, and an abortion activist group. And what we found out was extremely shocking. And during our motion to dismiss hearing, when the state was trying to get it thrown out, we were like, we just got this a day or so ago. And the judge was like, I want an amended complaint with that information so I can see it.
Yeah,
so we survived
we
the
weren't
first.
allowed to reveal what all was in there.
Right. So now our amended complaint is filed. And here's what we found out. This was a coordinated effort to smear these pregnancy resource centers. They began well before the campaign and before there were even complaints against these resource centers. But the state of Massachusetts, working with REN, which is Reproductive Equity Now, a Planned Parenthood type activist group. And what they did was they started working on messaging, working on this campaign. Then,
here we go.
They had REN file complaints against pregnancy resource centers to trigger it.
You have to understand this. This is what you got to get your head wrapped around and understand why this is so important that we're fighting this. Here's what we know, and I have a bunch of information in front of me. So I'm just going to read you this part. In response to our demand for transparency, Massachusetts disclosed that between 2022 and 2024, and remember 2024 is when I was there, when I saw this campaign on the streets, they received only two complaints against all pregnancy resource centers. But both, as Will just said, were they filed by patients? No. They were filed by Reproductive Equity Now. Not concerned citizens, not patients, but by the activist who helped launch the campaign and coordinated and helped fund the campaign with the state. This stinks of corruption. This stinks of people going out specifically against pro-lifers, and even their own citizens clearly don't agree with this. This is a government problem. This is not a people of Massachusetts problem. The people of Massachusetts are rising up and are saying enough is enough, and so are we at the ACLJ, because when this kind of information gets exposed, and I know it's not the most savory to understand that your state maybe doing this kind of mistreatment to pro-lifers, and not even pro-lifers. Let's back it to pro-life pregnancy resource centers, where a woman can walk in without pressure to get an abortion, which is what happens when they go to a Planned Parenthood or any other place like that. They just want to know if their baby is okay. They just want to get an ultrasound. They just want to know their options, and they want to get help. Maybe they need help with adoption. Maybe they need help for the father who needs some parental advice. No, they want that shut down, because what it doesn't do is fund big abortion. And of course, the ACLJ has been on the front lines of this for 35 years. That is why the ACLJ is there. And now that we have this information, I mean, I can't say one way or the other how a court is ever going to rule, specifically in Massachusetts. But you know the truth now, and you know the facts.
Logan, we've got a lot more on this. I think we can spend more days uncovering what we've found. But here's one thing that's fascinating to me, because it's almost like they took a play out of the playbook of Crossfire Hurricane. Because one of those 2 complaints that Wren filed, it wasn't based off even someone that came to them. It was based off news articles. And when we went and looked at the news article that they used and cited in their complaint, who was a source? Who was a quoted person in that news article? Wren. So they talked to the press. The press wrote a story. Then they used that as a basis to file the complaint to trigger Massachusetts to put forward this campaign that they'd been working on all along. It's like Crossfire Hurricane, but now the abortion lobby is trying to use it to silence the voices of pro-life Americans and those that want to help pregnant mothers.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Secular program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.